broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
That's it, everybody. Welcome to another Shark Tank After Show on AFTERBUZZ TV, Season 7, Episode 15. I am Cameron Lewis at The Only Cam Shaft, Twitter and Instagram. Hey, subscribe to the podcast and iTunes. Rate us. Give us 5 stars. Comment. YouTube, AFTERBUZZ TV. Twitter, AFTERBUZZ TV. AFTERBUZZTV.com.
Do you get it now?
All over the place. And here are all the people to my left. Please introduce yourselves.
Hey guys, I'm Zoe Hewitt. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Zoe Said What. That's Zoe Said What. You can also find me on YouTube where I do a weekly movie analysis at Zoe Hewitt Hosting. And I will continue on to my left.
What? I'm to the left. So I'm Chris Howard. You can find me at Chris Howard Live or at legendarylivingdaily.com.
Ooh.
Oh, I like that.
I like that.
Excuse me. Wow, like a legendary living there. Hi, I'm James Lott Jr. Of course, you know me. You can follow me at Black Hope LA. That's BLAK Hope LA on Twitter. And James Lott Jr. everywhere else. And of course, my radio show starts again this Friday on GermanRadio.com.
Yay!
All right. Congratulations.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Get it, James Lott
Now,
Jr.
before we start, I have a present for Cameron Lewis.
It's already getting derailed.
Already.
A bag?
A flowery bag.
You shouldn't have.
I
Podcast
know.
listeners, let me describe to you what he's pulling out of the bag.
And here we go.
It's a large
kids.
sleeping bag.
It is something that I held children in.
I know it. It's Funny Buddy!
This is exactly
You've
what
got to be
thought.
kidding me.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Why is it wet, JLJ?
I must have spilled
Oh, he
some
did
on it.
use it. That's what he said.
It's a squatty potty.
All I know is
Yes.
there's potty.
I know, all over the place.
Here's the thing. We're going to take a break to remind you to
use
do
it?
the podcast and stuff. I'm going to go use it. Zoe, after you.
So that's from my mom, Benita.
You got to
Thanks,
be
Benita.
kidding me. Benita.
We love you, Bonita.
Yes.
I kind of want
Now,
to go
there's a
use
point
it
to
right
this,
now.
right? Because I'm new.
So this was
okay.
a product. This is Cam's favorite product. Maybe I should let him. But
No,
basically,
go for it, Zoe.
it helps you go to the bathroom in a more ergonomically correct
And this was on
way.
Shark Tank, wasn't
It was on Shark
So
Tank.
you actually
You put your
stand
leg.
on that.
Well,
Yes.
you sit on the toilet and you put your legs
Yes.
here.
You put it around
Just
the base of the toilet
Yeah.
to
Although,
raise.
I might try standing on it when I pee.
You can buy some where you actually are at the level.
I was gonna say, if you're standing there, how are you gonna make sure you hit? You know?
I don't know.
It's like there's a
don't
whole
know.
aim thing happening here.
So, you guys, who's gonna get it this week to try?
No, we each got one.
We
so.
each got
She
one?
sent you 2.
Yes, I didn't know
Did she
that.
not know about me?
She didn't.
James Lott Jr.
How am
I
I
guess.
supposed to go to
What's
the
up with
bathroom?
Benita?
Here's the thing. I'm going to put it
Benita?
under the
What's up,
table.
Benita? Because she'll buy it for you. Trust me. She's like that.
I'm going to put it under the table. I will put my feet on it.
Okay.
And I'm not making any promises what does or does not happen after this.
But I'm next to him, so
All
I'll
right,
keep
you
you
know
guys
what? I'll
posted.
move it just in case.
Yes, just
Just in case
We don't
it
want to tempt
inspires
fate.
you.
Yeah, we don't want to tempt
Oh,
fate.
my goodness.
So squatty potty, everybody.
Yay,
Beautiful.
Squatty Potty. And they didn't even come on the show and give it to us for free. So
No.
I feel like, once again, shout out to Benita.
Yeah, Benita, come on, girl.
Benita, you got it.
Yes,
I'm
she
so
got it.
happy. Now
Yes.
I get to try this.
Because he's been wanting it for so long.
He's been talking about it
Have
a
you
lot.
seen the ad? Have you seen the YouTube
I
video?
remember the episode with this thing on it now, and it's just amazing to see it live. So that's all I can say.
But we're not seeing it in use live. I know.
I'm still trying to figure out how you aim
Yeah.
right. Yeah, so.
Oh my gosh.
He'll do a YouTube video and let us know.
I will.
That's right.
I will do a YouTube
Did this get
video.
funded?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, it did.
Yeah, they get
And
funded.
it's done incredibly
Yeah.
well. So they had a viral video that came out, I don't know, probably 6 months ago or something.
Yep.
And it's of a unicorn pooping ice cream. And it's done in the best way. And there's actually, they were on Beyond the Tank.
Yeah, Beyond the Tank.
They were on Beyond the, why couldn't I think of the name of the show?
I don't know.
This past week, and there was a
Yeah.
really interesting little bit there about the process behind doing that. doing that video because not everybody was on board with it because it's a very bold idea. You have a unicorn taking a crab.
This is a real ad.
Yes. No, yeah, that's real ad.
Got it.
And this thing went crazy, and everybody, like my brother, wanted one for Christmas. I've never seen him more excited.
But
his wife bought him one for Christmas.
Who doesn't want a unicorn?
That's true. That's true.
That's good. You're fast. I like that.
Valid. All right. Well, thank you, James Lott Jr.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Benita.
Yes, you're welcome.
Can we call her JLJM?
Sure.
JLJ
JLJ's mom.
You could. You totally could. Sure. Why not?
By the way, we'll have to show you after the show. They're identical twins.
We're twins.
I
Hopping
don't know if
in.
that's good for her or you.
Hopping in. How dare you?
Beautiful.
To episode
Our beards
15. So first up this week, you guys, the SheFit. $250,000 for 20% of the company. The adjustable sports bra, fully customizable. What do we think? First thoughts.
I feel like the resident expert here.
Yes. I'm like, you tell us.
And I also feel like I'm really low today.
Yeah, there you go.
I can give you a squatty potty
I know.
boost you up there.
So I liked it.
Yeah.
And I liked the whole uniboob when they were saying they had never heard of that. How has no one ever heard
I've
of a
heard of that.
uniboob?
Uniboobs are like unicorns. They're really hard to find.
So I thought it was great that it doesn't give you that uniboob. And the only bra I can think of.
So this is a real phenomenon. The uniboob
Oh
thing.
yeah,
Really?
definitely.
You
And
know it too.
I thought everyone was.
I
really
have
familiar.
daughters, sisters. I mean, I don't know the whole thing. Yes.
And there is a Victoria's Secret bra that's similar, where it has that same zip up, but it doesn't have quite as much adjustability.
Because this one had the
But
straps
the thing is,
here and everything.
all bras can adjust here.
Yeah,
So
of
to
course.
me, that wasn't particularly amazing. Around this part, rib cage.
The rib cage. The bust
Yeah,
rib cage.
the
Rib
mid-
cage.
This part that I can't think
The
of.
upper
Upper
uvulus.
torso. Upper
The
torso.
under the breast zone.
Yes.
So you can adjust your bra,
great name
but
for an
only for
album.
maybe an inch.
Yeah.
Like it's not a huge amount. So I
But
think what's really interesting.
this is the thing that they had the patent on.
Right, and that's what I think
that
is really
was-
interesting that they said they can cut down on the SKUs because it covers so many different sizes.
I would have never thought about that.
Yeah.
That
either.
is really appealing, I would think.
It's got to make it more profitable for the companies that
Yeah.
are storing them and holding them and all that type of stuff.
And it's also probably easier when it comes to, because a lot of times, I don't know if you guys watch the show The Profit, but this is a really interesting show. I love the show. There's a woman who ran a cosmetics company, and she bought so much in just having all these products that she came up with, so much inventory. And this, I think, would kind of cut back on that because you don't have to have all the different sizes. So it's a benefit for the people selling it. It's a benefit for you.
The question is, how much is that benefit? Though that's what
That is an interesting.
I don't know how to quantify it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now here's what's funny though, because when they started writing the numbers, it was 2,200.
Hooked
No
on
one can talk
phonics.
tonight.
Hooked on
Jesus
phonics.
Christ. 220,000 in sales, 18 months.
Yeah.
50,000 of sales were in the last 45 days. E-commerce and retail. I thought it was interesting that Lori had concerns. She had concerns about the patenting process. Because
like we're saying, there are other things that are very
do that.
similar to it.
So it was one of those things that straightens your back out to relieve stress.
Right.
If you're hunched over, she was making the comparison. I don't see the comparison. I understand why she might have a concern in the future, but I was surprised she dropped out like she did.
she was like, she got offended at first.
Is
The others
this,
when they were
is this
talking.
by
They
the
were like,
way, is this something that happens on a regular basis? Because I don't think I was aware of that
The uniboob?
patents can be taken away. Because that's something she brought up.
I thought it was interesting because it's similar to in trademark law. So if somebody has previous usage trumps you trademarking something. So somebody else can prove previous usage. And so that's what it sounded like. If something was similar enough, they could then make that argument.
So I can get I'm Loving It back from McDonald's.
Yes.
I've been saying that since I was like 2.
What about McLovin?
I need to get that back.
Right.
So the only thing, though, I didn't quite get with this, that part of a bra is the cup size.
Yes.
And I feel so odd discussing this at a table.
I know, you
full
got-
of
I know,
men.
yes.
But, so how does one bra then, they didn't have adjustable cups.
I guess I was wondering the same
So I
thing.
get that they're saying the how do I keep forgetting the
Rib cage.
Thank you.
Yes, yes, girl.
Middle area.
The middle area. The middle area.
The zone.
This area. So I get that part
Yeah.
needs to be adjustable. I definitely get that the shoulders, but the cup. That
I
needs to
actually thought about
adjust
that.
again.
I have sisters and daughters, and I used to be a nurse. I thought about that. I said, wait a minute, what are the folks who are like an E compared to those who are an A?
That is not going to fit the
It's not gonna
same
fit-
bra.
no.
There's no way.
No.
And is it going to be equally desirable to have something that's adjustable like that? I mean, I would think that I'd want to get the right size for.
You have a lot of
For me.
extra
Right, because
fabric.
Right,
yeah,
right,
that,
if you're
that's a
pulling
major
in from
concern.
an E.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
But did you guys love Lori's part about saying that she was clarifying, not insulting, or to tell the others? And I liked that. Like,
Yeah.
exactly. Stop insulting.
She's like, she's like, which one talk? You don't let her talk. I was like,
Oh,
Lori got
yeah,
pissed.
yeah.
Lori got. I wrote that
Yeah.
down. Lori got pissed. And I was
Yeah.
kind of like, I'm like,
Because she was a pretty good salesperson.
She was.
Yes,
She was
they were being
gung-ho
rude.
and-
She was.
She was.
I
And
love the relation, the dynamic between her and her husband.
Oh, who's in
They're
charge?
great.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
I like them. I like them.
Yeah.
They're from Michigan, the Moylands.
The husband knew his stuff too. When he was the
He
first
did.
to shout out, that they had 70% margins.
Yeah.
That they were, so they were switched on.
So they end up getting an offer with Damon, $250K for 33%.
They're being a third.
Good deal, bad deal.
Third of the company. That's interesting. I mean,
Okay.
I think good deal for them because what Damon said he represented the interest of who's that personal trainer from the biggest
Jillian
loser?
Michaels.
Jillian Michaels, yeah.
Yeah.
So he had he represented her in some way, so he could see that there were some connections that could be made on that front. Because for me, without that, I really don't know what they've got. But with those types of connections, it's like with those types of endorsements and things, I could see getting some traction with this.
Yeah.
it just makes me nervous when you give away a third of your company. It makes me nervous. As a business owner myself, it makes me a little nervous.
It's a big percentage. And
Yeah.
I didn't love that he pressured them for an answer.
Yeah, right away. Tell me now.
Yeah.
Tell me
I
now.
hate
Tell me now.
that.
And I just feel
I
like.
would totally,
yeah.
I would bend under that pressure.
Wait,
in the
never
tank.
mind.
If somebody was like, $10, 100%, now, I go, yeah, yes, I need to eat dinner. I have a squatty potty.
Yeah, it's an
needs
interesting
me.
tactic, isn't it?
It was. He was like, I want to know
It
now, or I'm going to lose interest. You got to do it now. You got to give me an answer now. And I'm like, that's just
Yeah.
to me, that's a little dramatic for TV. I think. Don't you think
I
maybe?
totally agree.
Probably
Totally
a little
agree.
bit, but I do think that happens a lot because people do that as a means of like,
Well,
A, just quickening the conversation, but also B, getting the deal.
Well, he said, he did say, I guess he did say this, I'd like to know that people can make quick decisions. Or so he made some kind of reference after that. Like, well, I know I
He
can
did
do
say
somebody.
that.
Yeah, he did say
He
that.
said he wanted a decisive. He
Yeah,
loves
one has to
decisive.
question
There you
content.
go.
no
Right.
reason.
Yeah. So he did say
But
that.
I could also picture that being very poor. If somebody's just
Yeah.
walking in the office every day like, we need 4 new websites. now. Quick decisions, go.
Exactly. That is a good argument to be made against that. But I think it was the best deal she was going to get. Nobody else was going to come in higher. So
That's true.
Yeah,
I don't
No
know.
one else would give them a
No,
deal.
that's true.
I agree.
it'll probably take them someplace too. I mean, they're two go-getters. They're good salespeople. She's going to sell the heck out of it. She said she was leaving her job for it. So
Yeah.
it's probably a good match.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
100%. Any final thoughts on She Fit?
She fit.
All right, moving
I
on to
think that's it.
Coalition. $200K for 20% is what these folks were seeking for the backpack that recharges your cell phone. Now, sorry, that was an earthquake podcast.
That scared me. I
We
was like, oh my
have
God.
survived. Do not
Ouch, I
be
hurt my
alarmed.
finger.
You okay?
Is that what she is?
Yeah,
My finger.
Oh my God.
So first thoughts
he's like,
on Coalition. Are you okay?
I'm okay.
You asked
Okay.
now. He's like, oh, okay.
I know you sort of look like.
If you think Zoe's not okay, call the number at the bottom of your screen.
tweet Zoe and say,
say-
"Are
Here's
you
the
all
thing.
right?"
You're okay.
Here's the thing with these backpacks,
Yes.
right? First of all, I don't know a lot of people that use backpacks. Now, hang on.
I'm pointing off camera, people, because
That use backpacks
I use them all the time.
for
so.
a long enough time during the day where they need to charge their
I disagree.
phone as a function of the backpack.
I disagree.
You disagree.
I do.
Here's the thing. All these little charging bars exist, right?
Mm-hmm.
The $8, $9 ones that you can plug in and recharge your phone at
Yes.
the end of the day. I would rather have one of those that I put in my backpack.
Here's the deal. As a backpack carrier,
Here's the deal with
Backpack
James Lott
connoisseur.
Jr.
kind of seriously. As a backpack curator, no, I use backpacks every day. I
Yeah.
love backpacks. I have like a million at home, and I'm a person who's on the run all day long. And sometimes in LA traffic, sometimes certain situations, you can't get to that bar right away, and you're talking on the phone. You're doing 10 things. What's in LA? You're doing 10 things. You just to go down. It goes down. You're at 2%. You're like, I need to plug it in somewhere.
I need a backpack.
But,
I need a backpack.
but you have the rechargeable battery that I'm talking about. You just put in your backpack.
You can't. No, here's the thing. I like the concept. There were some holes in it, but I like the concept of it. I thought it was a cool concept. It was a good-looking backpack. I thought it was a cute backpack.
If you travel a lot, like I travel a lot, way too much. And if you travel a lot, people are carrying their backpacks all the time. I know when I'm at the airport and I look at all these people plugged into these bars, there's no way you can get in there, and it sucks.
That's true.
So for me, I thought it was a great idea, but the patent thing, if they were able to get some sort of a patent on it,
that's concerning.
Yeah, if they can't get that, there's just no barrier to entry. Anybody can do it, and I think Damon was pointing that out.
That's true.
Anybody can knock it off. So there's no, you can't prevent the. Warren Buffett talks about having a moat around your castle to prevent people from being able to attack.
Yeah.
There's no moat here.
Yeah, there's no moat.
There are no alligators.
There's no moat.
There is just a drawbridge.
There's just a drawbridge saying, "Come, take our
Zoe, what do
backpacks."
you think?
I'm split just in the sense that I thought the backpack looked nice, so I agree with you guys.
Yeah, no,
While
I
I don't carry backpacks, I agree. Like, I think it had a nice look. But on the flip side, I don't think there was anything special about it. And in fact, there was a backpack just like this. Was it 1 or 2 seasons ago? I saw it in reruns at some point that had the solar panel in it. So to me, there was nothing extra special about this.
Yeah.
So while I like the concept and think if you're either an outdoorsy person or if you're commuting a lot and you carry a backpack, great. But like, you can also go do it by yourself without spending $600.
I was saying the pricing was bad. The pricing was bad.
$600.
Yeah, they said 180 to 600.
Right. Mark pointed that out. I think that, or no, he said people don't like to do it themselves, is what Mark had said. And Lori said, like you did, that you can do it yourself. I'm on Mark's court. I say I don't want to do it myself. If it works, that's fantastic. But I go back to the barrier to entry as being the issue there, because anybody could knock it off. In fact, they probably will now that the show's been on.
Oh yeah,
right.
Oh yeah.
And that
JLJ's
in my
about
opinion,
to.
that's a business. The whole mobile technology business.
Excuse me.
Pardon me.
I heard a half
I have to go to LegalZoom.com.
I know. Excuse me. Okay. Yes. Okay. We're good. My partners are good.
Mom, Benita, buy 3 more squatty potties.
Robert Shapiro that launched LegalZoom?
Yeah,
What's that?
Or he's part of Robert Shapiro.
He started.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, so
Were they on Shark Tank with it,
I think what you were saying is especially true though, because especially
Wait, which
seemingly
year? There are 3 years.
Yeah, which is 3 years.
seemingly
Yeah.
in the mobile technology business, there's a lot of things that are knocked off, right? Phone cases,
everything.
chargers,
Everything.
cables, all these things. And so I feel like this is something that 10,000 people are going to hop on, A. B, I'm always nervous about buying something that has some other sort of unrelated integrated technology, like the Icy Breeze that we're going to talk about in a bit.
Are you saying because it could break?
Because it could break and I'd have to replace it to begin with. So I always consider it about, like, say, instead of buying a $300 backpack, I'll buy a $100 backpack I really like, the design of whatever, plus a $20 portable battery for my cell phone. That's what buy 2 of them. So that's kind of where I get caught up on.
The other thing though that they also said was the whole thing about them not revealing that it was only. So this was just a line. It was a product line. It wasn't a business in and of itself.
Right. That was
the
weird.
Split from
Sharks
their
thought it was
company.
weird. Yeah.
I felt it because as a person who has my own business and I have arms to my business.
Right.
That's like, why do you do it that way? Like they said, just make it a line in your business. They're trying to sell it separately. It was like, that was weird.
They wanted to isolate it as an investment. They wanted to keep the $500,000 they were
That's
already doing.
Exactly. They wanted to only give the Sharks so much.
Right.
They wanted their advertisement for just this much of the company.
Which I don't wrong them for, but it cost them an investment.
Certainly.
Probably.
Yeah, I agree.
And Mr. Wonderful, by the way, said,
Yes.
second chance, what's your other idea?
I know, that's so funny.
And,
That's really hard to throw out. They kind of stood there dumbfounded at that point. It was
They seem like nice guys. The other place, I mean, I think they're right, and they had talked about traveling, and I think they came up with this idea in Japan. Right. I mean, when you're backpacking or in countries where or I guess even in New York City, where you commute by train a lot, where you do have your backpack and want to plug it in. So I definitely can see it.
There's
definitely a market for it, but a $600 market,
Too much.
ooh.
I would buy it if it was cheaper.
You probably could in China next week.
Yeah. Honestly, go to Amazon right now.
I know exactly. After you get out, I'm like, can we finish the show, please?
I
got
feel
something to
really
do.
bad that we're saying this, but
Probably, I know.
It's there.
But it's something that, as I said, as a backpack person, I like the idea.
Okay, if you give me $300, I
You'll
will
make one.
create it for you.
I do speaking, and I was in China, and my promoter out there said, you guys know who Robert Kiyosaki is, Rich Dad Poor Dad.
yeah.
They said he's standing there signing autographs, and somebody brings him a book, and it's got his name on it. He says, "I didn't write this book." And they said, "Well, what are you complaining about? You didn't even have to write it." That's China.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Any other final thoughts on Coalition before we move on?
They're smart guys. They're in that whole technology.
They are. And by
It
the
seems
way,
nice.
we talk
Yeah.
about all these different businesses every week, and when we have not such nice things to say about them, it's never a personal attack, people.
Oh, right. No,
Except for the couple times.
Except for once or twice.
Yeah, it was personal.
Oh, did you guys get slammed for personal attacks?
I didn't. I'm
No.
nice.
I'm nice.
Zoe said what is nice.
Said what? What?
Yeah.
What did she say?
What did she say? What
People
did she
be
say?
getting like all up in the Shark Tank. I would
Okay.
say.
Mhm.
Next up, Icy Breeze, 50,000
Yeah.
for 5% of the company. By the way, podcast listeners, that is the AC.
That's the AC. I thought something was
At the
happening.
same time.
And podcast listeners, if you didn't hear anything, that was us making it up.
Yes.
Until now.
It's not
Anyway, so Icy Breeze is the cooler.
oh, that came on when Icy Breeze came on. So air conditioning.
Yeah,
Oh,
see?
You just wake up.
Somebody
I know,
said
I know.
that.
Oh my God! I'm like, you
Everybody
just
else
wake up.
realized it.
I was like,
Icy Breeze
okay.
is the cooler with integrated air conditioning technology that cools down the air by 35 degrees, whatever the temperature may be, based on the technology that uses the cold water at the bottom of your cooler. Do we like it? What do we think? Initial reactions, James Lott Jr.
TLJ.
hated it.
What?
Wow!
I just wanted to say that.
I think
honestly.
You carry a backpack, but you wouldn't carry a cooler.
this thing. Oh my
What if
God!
they put it in the backpack?
Then I'll buy it.
There you go. Something.
I can charge. I keep myself cool. You just said initial reactions. I hated it.
Really?
Yes.
What
So
did you
what
hate about
specific-
it?
Sorry.
Just like, okay, not
We're talking in
Let's
tandem
try
now.
and, let's try and say the same thing the next time we say that. Yeah.
We are thinking
Okay.
that much alike.
Okay,
We're like
so
twins over
you
here.
guys are like just one brain. No, I thought it was ugly. First of all, coolers
It
are not.
looks like a cooler.
Coolers are ugly, and then this snake
You
thing
want it to
coming
be
out.
a Coach cooler?
I'm sorry. Yes, exactly.
Versace?
Louis Vuitton. Yes. Samsonite. No, I thought that and number two, they were right. When you're outside, you got to buy 5 of them. There's like me and 5 other people. You get just it blows on one person.
Cooler
Come on.
by Vera Wang.
I just thought
Here's
it
the
was.
thing.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with you. I wish that I would love it because this is something as a kid I would be like, oh my god,
Yeah, right.
The cooler has air conditioning.
Yes.
Your scooter can do what?
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I would love it if it also did not cost $350.
I know. Hello, again.
That was it.
Yeah.
I can go to Big Lots
expensive.
for $10 and get a cooler that size.
Well, see,
And,
that's the issue.
and
yeah.
get a $100 window unit and
Yes.
put it in the cooler.
Right, exactly.
And
or
then
a
all you
little
need is
fan for your visor. That's what it's
Yes.
competing with. Is
Yes.
little fans for the visors.
That's
So-
the thing. You know,
like,
when
yeah.
when I saw this, I was thinking, I like how I'm pointing to paper.
And I
When
love it's
saw
all.
my paper-
It's just a heart.
I see, yeah.
You guys, if you want to
It's
see, I have a
heart paper.
heart.
Oh,
because
it's so cute.
I got this for free from maybe the Heart Association. I don't remember, but I love it.
I know it's
That's
cute.
a good. That sounds like a good story.
It is a good story.
I'm very girly right
You got
now.
a Dollar Tree.
So I am not super outdoorsy.
Okay.
So I
Right.
could see like I would want this if I were outside because I don't want to sit in
Right.
like 100-degree weather outside. That
Yeah.
sounds miserable to me.
It does.
However, the flip side is people who are outdoorsy and who love that, I feel like they don't care. That's why they're out
Right,
there.
exactly.
That's why they're camping in 90-degree weather because they like sitting by the lake and fishing and
I think the
making
concept's
s'mores.
nice. It would be nice to have air conditioning. Just the design and the cost and all that stuff.
See,
is
I agree
weird.
with that. I
Yeah.
agree. I think if they could price it down, first of all, or if it was $350 but could cool 6 people,
Yeah.
like if
Okay.
it,
Oh,
if it
yes,
operated
okay.
similarly to like a bong,
Yeah.
or not a
Bong.
bong, a hookah.
A bong. I'm like, what?
You know, a hookah with the different hoses.
What's a bong?
Then that James Lott Jr.
Sorry.
That would be amazing.
Yes. The problem that I have with
You
it
guys
is
are a little crazy here, you know.
I know they know we're crazy. They know we're crazy.
Zoe's got her heart on.
Yes.
But you guys, this is just a fan. This is a really expensive
Exactly.
fan.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
The fan does the same
You can actually get an oscillating fan and bring it with you.
and plug
And
it
a
in
giant
to your
ice
car
block.
Right.
in the USB port.
Right.
Yeah,
And it'll get everybody.
I think that's the big problem. Is it's competing with fans, and they're saying like there's no competition for the competition is a fan.
Right.
So
Right.
you know.
That costs
100%.
$10.
Yeah. So it's like okay, good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But didn't you guys think they were interesting, the guy who had fronted all the money for this? I mean, did you see how Robert stood up and took notice, or sat up and took notice when he said he had started the Solar Winds Company?
Yeah, I
Whoa,
did.
that's
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
I mean, so he clearly has some good credentials behind him, and to have $5.5 million to sink
Oh,
into
yeah.
this cooler.
Oh,
Let me
yeah.
ask you this
a
though,
lot.
because this is something I've thought about the last couple weeks. Because we've met as in seen on TV, a couple of what I would call serial entrepreneurs.
Yes.
Is this a concern? If you were an investor, would you be concerned about investing in a serial entrepreneur? Is this somebody that potentially is going to ditch the business and go for the next idea?
Well, to me, it depends on the person because I'm always about who I want to work with. If I feel like I trust them and they're good, even if they go to something else, maybe they'll make me a lot of money first, and then go to the next thing.
Valid.
I mean, you know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
it's just not. I'm not too worried about.
That was fascinating though, because what I have to compliment the Sharks on this because they were the judge of that character, and they saw that he wasn't maybe going to have the same level of attachment that he would if he was starting his first startup. They were able to suss that out. I don't even know if they say that in Australia. They were able to. I'm not
say
from
that in
Australia.
America.
Yes, in
Do they-
America.
do they-
They
Yeah, we'll
do,
take
they
it.
do,
We'll
they
take
do.
it.
They were able
We
to
know
suss
it.
that out and they saw that for what it was, and I appreciated that because it's not something that I would have picked up on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I appreciate actually
true.
his thought process that he's hot. He opens up a cooler and thinks, "I wish I can crawl into the cooler." I totally get that part.
See, that's fascascinating.
I totally get it.
I
You've never
love
felt that?
hearing. No, but I love hearing about the inception of ideas
Yeah,
like
me too.
that.
And I thought that's where great ideas come from. Sometimes some of the easiest things, like, wow, I wish I could put my table didn't get scuffed. I wish I had something to put in between it.
Or like you're sitting
There
on
you
the
go.
toilet.
Right, Zoe?
A coaster.
A coaster.
You're
Done.
sitting
$8
on the
million.
toilet and you're going, man, this isn't going well. Only I had a stool. Lord.
Exactly. That's how some great ideas really come.
I love that though, and I feel like I've done myself a disservice because I have thought of some stuff. You know what I'm saying?
May not been that good though.
Do you know the fan
I'm
that
loving
you
it.
can blow water into?
Yes.
That's like
Oh, yeah,
connected
yeah.
to it? That was me.
That was you.
That's you.
Well, I didn't, somebody else took it to market.
Scrub daddy.
I had to do
Why
it.
didn't I think of that?
I know. Redirect. Anyway, so Icy Breeze did not get a deal.
No, it didn't.
Any other final thoughts before we move on?
Well, if you guys want one, it's in Sam's Club apparently. 48 Sam's Clubs across the country.
This is true.
What's that? One of these.
You know-
You can
Icy
find the
Breeze.
coolers.
I'm just
Oh, it's
gonna say
already
it.
there. They say.
They
Yeah,
said
they did.
48 Sam's Clubs.
Yeah.
Love the
Sam's
Icy
Club.
Breeze guys, but I'm just going to say it. It skeeves me out when it's in Sam's Club and not Costco.
That's kind of
Are
weird.
you
I
elitist?
see it as being like
I know. It's like,
Sam's Club. I see it as being like a sharper image, something like that. But I
Yes.
guess maybe not Brookstone. I wrote down. But
Yeah.
I don't see Sam's Club.
It's kind of a random choice,
I was
right?
gonna
Yeah.
say,
No,
shuffle it
I don't
around.
think so. You guys,
don't
don't
think so
people
either.
buy everything
Yeah.
at the big box stores
Yeah.
like that?
I guess
agree.
that's true.
I don't think that's a weird choice.
I don't think so either.
I picture like WWE fans going to Sam's Club.
Isn't Sam's Club just like Costco?
Well, Sam's Club is part of
It's like the same
Walmart's.
thing?
It's like
Yeah,
it's like a cousin to
basically
Walmart.
the same thing.
But it's the same
Yeah,
thing, right?
like Sam's
it's-
Club, Smart and
Basically.
Final, all those kind of places. They're all
I don't
kind
see
of
them
the same
buying a
thing.
$300 cooler. Although I read someplace that they had marked the price down to like $199 now.
Oh, they're not making much then. They said it was $191 to me.
They must have figured out how to lower it then. Holy crap.
I hope so.
They did say
$199. I'm going to go
$199,
get
yeah,
one.
they did say that.
Could be a rumor. I saw it. I read it.
If it's
I read it on the
$199, I'll
internet.
just buy it for the vanity. Like,
Just-
To go in
Hey,
your spot.
I gotta-
Don't forget to buy
I gotta air conditioning.
JLJM one
JLJM.
also.
Yes,
because
buy
she
one
bought you a
too.
study
that one's
honey.
in Bonita.
She needs a present.
Real quick before we move on to 2400 Expert, let's remind everybody to subscribe to that podcast. You might be listening right now, and if you are, share it with a friend. Give us a few comments, rate us, star us.
Tell us you love us.
Did you
We
guys
love
get
that.
15,000 views last
15,000.
week? That's
Love it.
Let's
ridiculous.
double that, you guys.
We love everybody
Yes.
that's been watching on YouTube and commenting
We
there
love
as
you.
well.
Yes,
Please
we
keep
do.
sharing it. Please keep tweeting us. Use the hashtag ABTV Shark Tank. We love hearing from you. Now, 2400 Expert, 250K for 10%.
Before we go on that real quick, I was going to say, just a quick mention, because I remember watching
Is
this
this about your
pitch.
backpack?
It is.
Wait, we're backtracking walking all the way to the backpack?
He's kidding. Don't watch it. No, but we had
Now that you say that, Cameron, this brings me back to season 3, episode 7.
Yes. No, but it's just interesting because I actually watched their pitch. I remember in season 5, and they had one update.
Wait, what are we talking about right now?
The one update.
I know what you're talking about. I'm looking at his notes.
Do it after?
Yeah.
Oh, you have to? Okay, never mind. Okay, I know if you
We do the
No,
update
you're
at
good.
the end.
Okay, do that. Okay.
So we have one
Maybe.
more, and then we'll get to the update, and then
Whatever.
we're going to
Whatever.
start pitching our own product.
Stick around, guys.
I have a great fan water idea, spray
I
bottle.
have a tie clip
I want to
idea.
tune into that. 2400 Expert. This is the, again, $250K for 10%. This is the company that provides the SAT experience for
Yes.
you. The prep that gets you that perfect score. Now, what did you all score on the SAT? Did you take the SAT?
I did.
Yeah.
I didn't. I'm the only one who didn't.
So was it?
I took SAT and ACT because I
I did
remember they
too.
recommended we take both.
I did too. Now, did you do any kind of prep like this?
Yes.
You did.
But back when I was in school, it was. Well, this was talking the 80s, so it's a little different. You get the big books. You
And
too?
the top score would have been different too because
Yeah.
it's gone up a few
Yeah,
times.
it's gone different since then.
Has
so,
it gone up?
Yeah,
It has.
It has.
Maybe I did take an SAT.
You probably did.
I just didn't care, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I really didn't.
I'm kind of same.
Yeah.
I was an
No,
entrepreneur.
but I was a semi-overachiever, so I did take it. But
I was an overachiever, but I didn't take
you
it.
take it?
Snap.
Oh, wow.
No, I mean, I
How
took
did
the
you-
test. I didn't take
okay.
the prep. I didn't take
I did
the
okay. I can't remember the exact number right now because I'm old, but I did.
Yeah.
I did okay.
So
I did okay.
I'm interested to see what you guys think of this one because I feel kind of torn on it. I love that the guy who's running it has like very pure intentions to raise people's SAT
Yes.
scores because he got a great story, right?
Yes.
His mom and dad ran this budget motel, and his SAT score made opportunity in his life by getting to go to prestigious university. I think
Yeah, Yale
right?
and USC, both.
Which is insane.
yeah.
Training to be a doctor.
Trained
And
to be a
getting his
doctor,
MBA.
Yeah. Yes.
entrepreneur, MBA,
MBA,
Yeah.
all these other things, which is a great story. But the problem, the hesitation that I have is that I don't know that this is something like people. I don't know. Is this something people take seriously? Because I did, and I know people that did, but my level of prep wasn't to this extreme.
Well,
is
maybe
this
it
something
should
that-
have been.
And maybe it should have been. But is it realistic to say?
Think of the conversation we could be
Right?
having now.
I would be presenting in that tank. You guys would be talking about me.
We talked about it anyway. I think this is a
love
great
it.
product.
I love it. Do you think it's a great
I think it's a
product?
great product. I'm actually surprised someone didn't just say like, let me buy it outright because I think
was
it
shocked
was
too,
a
actually.
licensing deal. And I was
Yes.
curious, none of them
Yes.
asked, and I'm sure he would have said there's a proprietary answer. But what is so special that's making everyone's score go up by more than 300 points? I mean, 300 points
They
is a
didn't
lot.
ask. They didn't ask.
They didn't
and
ask,
I'm
they didn't
shocked.
tell.
I-
But the average competitor, he laid it out. He said they were about 170 points below what he was able
Yeah.
to do with people, which is insane.
It's a
That's
big
good.
difference. So
Yeah.
I can't believe someone didn't just buy it outright. I feel like this is
Yeah.
a great.
I
mean,
think he
it's
was part
proven.
of the.
See, I agree.
He's the durable competitive advantage, though. It's him. He's the thing that makes the.
Well-
He can't be because
Well,
one
or his
teacher is
sis-
bringing everyone's
Right.
score. I mean,
Yeah.
great teachers are amazing. Don't get me wrong, but it's hard for me to believe it's only because of him. There's got to be some
Or his
study
system,
hard
thing
to
his
know,
system,
he's
whatever he's doing.
Well, I
It's
just
a
think I think
system.
when they did bring this up, and I wish they talked about just having pre-taped classes
Right.
and things. Because why does it have to be always live? I mean, you
And
can
he
do
said
things.
the parents wanted the live. They felt that.
I,
was
see,
now-
as a parent, I don't. That's not a big deal for me.
There is a
somebody
difference, though.
somebody that's good. Whether my kid can sit down and watch it pre-taped or live doesn't matter.
But I will say there is a difference in terms because I actually took my sophomore year of high school. I did all internet courses.
Okay.
And
Really?
Yeah.
You could do that in high school, even.
Yeah, and
Oh,
so
wow.
my entire sophomore
changing
year
world.
was
We didn't have internet.
that, and all of it was pre-recorded, predetermined lessons that had really no teacher.
But I can't
And
imagine
that
that's
was
as good.
No,
Okay.
because it wasn't so much about the information that was being presented. It was more about I can't ask them a question.
Right.
Yeah, it's the engagement.
Exactly.
And
But there was nothing
Exactly.
set up for you to have like.
I could email them after.
It's
Or
different to
chat.
email or ask a question later than it
Yeah.
is to find out in the moment when
Right.
you have that question and need that clarification.
And so I get that. On the other hand, I think that the consumer should get a choice because I mean you're
Yes.
already doing it live,
Right.
recorded.
Right.
put it up separately. Give
For
her
less
two different
money.
options.
Right.
This is
Yeah.
the, this is the
For
type
less
of
money,
This
exactly.
is the type of business I'm in. This is what I do.
Really?
And, yeah. I mean,
SAT prep specifically?
No, not SAT prep. I'm brilliant.
I was going to say, what did you just told me you didn't take it?
I know.
Liar! But
You've been holding up this whole time.
All right. Let me tell you the truth. I'm an undercover doctor. You thought you were on Shark Tank.
Harvard doctor, MBA from Stanford.
No, I do online education.
Yeah.
And in my experience, I think what he was saying was that, yes, there is a lot of it that is online, and then he puts himself in because the parents want that, which is totally what one would expect. I do that. I have one-on-one sessions that I do, or not one-on-one, one in group. But I have a lot of it that's pre-recorded and that's online that exists in cyberspace. We did it once. Damon should know that. He's a partner, or he's partnering with Infusionsoft, which is all database management software that automates the process of all this type of stuff. So it kind of surprised me that Damon jumped out when he did, because I would see that. He said he didn't see it as being scalable. I do. I look at that and I go, it's totally scalable. He can do a session with people online all over the planet at once. So it's not that it's not scalable. So I disagree on that front. But I look at it and I say, yes, there's a business to be done there. I do understand everybody's looking at his lack of commitment to that business and saying you're spread thin, you're all over the place.
Now, I will admit something too. I used to work in insurance education.
I'm a doctor too.
by the way, I was once an astronaut.
Right. But in all seriousness, I mean, we used to have online programs too. And then some of them we had a thing called Lunchtime CE for people doing continuing education. And some of that was actually recorded, and people still did just as well as the folks when we had our live webinars. Like it was still kind of, I like that, like, you should have a choice. Everybody learns differently.
And not too many choices, because that's when things start getting crazy.
But everybody learns differently, though.
I guess my biggest concern with it is I really like this guy, I really like the business, but my concern with scalability is how do you go against the competitors and really set yourself apart? Because there's so many in this space. Like, you're going up against such big companies, and they address that a little bit.
But he does set himself apart because his numbers are better. So that's why I feel like someone just needs to get in and give him some marketing.
Numbers and marketing, yeah.
And why can't someone else be taught to do these classes as well? I don't understand
Exactly.
that
I think
he
is very
has
true.
to be the teacher. And
100%.
with his MD, MBA, his dollar per hour is going to be very high.
Run that by me
but
again.
if you get Joe Schmo, who works at McDonald's normally, for $10 an hour, he can teach the same class.
But there's really no need to it. If you really look at it, like, I used to travel around the world, and I taught in different countries. I was 4 weeks back home out of the year.
Wow.
Yeah, and now I can reach out to people, and I do. I'll have a webinar, and I'll have a bunch of people on the class from Australia and London, and they're all on there at once. So if he's running a few a day, there's no reason why he can't replicate it. I mean, eventually he's going to run out of time.
Yeah.
And then I do agree with you that, yes, why not?
Someone
Train him
else,
up in the system, let him do the thing. So it takes some time. But what I did appreciate also was Mark seeing the talent in the kid.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's what
I do too.
Yeah.
And Mark does that fairly
Yeah.
often.
Does he?
And I really like that about Mark, because a lot of times you have to bet on the person, as risky as that may be.
Well, see, my problem with the person, though, is he has two major careers he's trying to start. How can he really handle this at the same time?
How do you handle it, James Lott
I know,
Jr.?
I'm the person who says this, I do like 8 million things. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard, but it doesn't mean it can't be done.
No,
And
I mean,
You got to have the right backpack.
Exactly, and I do. No, I mean, I'm saying this. I have 3 careers basically, and it's hard. It's hard work,
Yeah.
and I make it happen. But not everything gets done. But I get everything done as I can. But I'm just saying, it's just kind of. I'm not a doctor either. I'm not going from being a doctor.
That's
And
very
he
true.
did say he's taking some time off, and I was being very cavalier when I said Joe Schmo from McDonald's could do this.
Right.
Clearly he can't. Clearly
Right,
this
no,
guy,
right.
Sean, is so
Right.
smart.
Right.
But I also think once he has his degrees, well, then he has free time, because
Yeah.
that's when people go out and get jobs.
That's
so
true.
instead of going to get a job as being a medical doctor, instead of going to get a job as doing whatever people with MBAs do, his job would be teaching this SAT prep class. So I felt like he was great, and I think that
These
Mark's
guys have to make a
acqui-hire-
decision so fast. You know, it's like they have to make this choice. And it sounds like the kid's split in his focus, although I'd say he's just a kid. And he's a hard-working kid, and that's what Mark picked up on in the end. Because it's like, this kid, he's getting a doctorate, he's doing all this. Everybody thought that he was all over the place, but he's really underneath. This guy's going to kick ass. He's going to go out there and make some things happen.
And all over the place or not, he's clearly successful at what he's doing. I mean, unless he's flunking out of school, he didn't tell us that. No, someone should have asked, what is his GPA?
Well, what is your GPA? What's going on?
You might be at Yale.
This is, by the way, somebody I'd love to have stop by AfterBuzz TV.
Yes, Sean, you're in town. You go to USC.
Come on by.
Yeah, he does.
2400 expert.
Yeah, come on.
But,
I mean, there's always time for me to improve my SAT score. I was in like the 17s.
So you think we could do that on
But
air?
at the time,
I think
the
so.
top probably
We're going to do a special where I take the SAT and you watch me write.
because that will be fun.
And Zoe
4
will grade
hours.
it.
And Zoe
It's
will
a
grade it.
Scantron. I'll put it through the machine. No
Oh,
problem.
Scantrons.
So that was...
Nowadays, it probably isn't.
It probably isn't.
No, probably not
Nowadays,
anymore.
it's probably on my computer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so old too.
I am so old too.
2400
Scantron?
expert. What? Yeah, totally.
Good.
100%. I get skeeved out by computer tests.
Really?
It freaks me out because I'm like, somebody's going to hack this. Give me an F.
Because they care about your grade that
Yeah,
much.
they're like, I'm going to attack you. It's your squatty potty. So that was 2400 expert. Really quick, Zoe, can you tell us about the update that happened in this week's episode?
I would love to
Oh my
tell.
God.
Please do it, eh?
I would love to. And
wow.
all of the cameras in this house.
That's when we need like the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire lights.
Yes. Exactly.
Yes.
All the cameras
All the
on you.
sound effects for all of
And we're
our
just hearing crickets.
listeners. So basically, this energy bar that I will probably pronounce wrong, Chapel. I know, I should have written down the pronunciation. Anyway,
I like this bar.
so it's energy bars that are actually made from crickets, which is really interesting because insects do have more protein. So they're being sold in Sprouts now in over 500 stores. They've gone up to 1.5 million in revenue. And I kind of think this is fascinating because I actually did a story at the Natural History Museum in town here, and I was touching cockroaches and things, which sort of skeeved me out. And they were telling me about this, that actually there's more protein in like a roach than in, I can't remember what the comparable is, like
A burger.
like an egg or something.
Yeah, no, yeah,
I mean, it's
yeah.
a huge amount, and they're much easier to sustain and in a smaller space.
Yeah.
So it's really fascinating. That said, I've eaten some
You
really
ate a roach?
unusual things as I've traveled around the world, and I draw my limit in insect, so I'm not sure I could eat this. What about you guys?
I think I could definitely eat it.
You're a bug eater.
Yeah.
I've
I've had crickets before.
No to anyone who wants to date Cam. He
I've
eats bugs.
I've had
just move
chocolate
this
covered ants.
I've had chocolate
you have?
covered. I had chocolate covered grasshopper pieces.
I've had
once.
that. You had scorpion?
No, I've had scorpion.
I've had dog.
You've
You've
Have
had
you really?
what?
Have you really?
I have in China.
In China.
I just wanted to
My
jump
Lord.
in there.
I love
and
it.
now all of our comments are going to be like, I
You
hate
ate
that.
dog. You ate dog.
Zoe said what?
Zoe said what? Zoe said what?
Ate dog.
I ate dog.
You guys ate grasshoppers.
I love it.
I just ate dog.
I don't eat weird stuff.
All right, everybody.
Well, it's not weird in those countries.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, unfortunately, we have to wrap it
I
up.
don't know
No
why
way.
so fast.
I was going to be here for another hour.
Me too. I'm ready. Let's keep going.
Let's
But
talk
here's the
about
thing.
another one.
We're going to give updates
Let's
next week on the show. We're going to give updates about my squatty potty experience.
Yes.
Nice.
I know everybody's waiting on bated breath. I'm going
are.
to retake the SAT.
What? Nice.
Be here for it. I know it's excruciatingly awesome to watch.
That
but,
would be a great video.
Yes.
It will
We need to do
be.
it before
Or
and
unless-
after on that. You got to take it before, and then when Sean comes in, we'll have you take it after.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes. Exactly.
If I do well, I'm going to start wearing a suit or something. I think that's probably what I need to do. Until then, James Lott Jr., why don't you tell the people where they can find you?
You can find me at James Lott Jr. on just about everything except for Twitter. It's actually Black Hope LA. And of course, you can follow me on Wednesday at Mysteries of Laura with this guy over here.
Hey-yo.
Yes, and my show Breaking Into on our sister network, which is Black Hollywood Live at 5 p.m. on Thursday.
Hey-yo.
Hey, yo, Chris Howard. You can find me at Chris Howard Live on Twitter. LegendaryLivingDaily.com. I've got all sorts of fun stuff that goes out from there. And LegendaryTV.com on YouTube.
Very nice, very nice.
I'm Zoe Hewitt. You can find me at Zoe Said What. That's Zoe Said What on Twitter and Instagram. You can also find me on YouTube at Zoe Hewitt Hosting, where I do a weekly movie analysis talking about theme, symbolism, and eagle eye details to watch for. I'll be talking about The Finest Hours this week.
Oh, is that good?
It was.
That's the one with John Krasinski, right?
No, it wasn't.
Chris Pine?
Yes.
All right.
Casey Affleck.
I'm upset because I have a man crush on John Krasinski. At The Only Camshaft on Twitter and Instagram is where you can find me, as well as a couple other shows here at AfterBuzz TV. And check out my podcast, The Cameron Lewis Show. James Lott Jr. was a guest this week.
Yes,
Very good
it is.
interview. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.